Imagine it's 1979 again. The Quartz crisis is in full swing since the beginning of the 70s. You're sifting through a popular German mail order catalog that offers everything from fashion, household appliances, tech. Then it hits you like a hammer. A 100% German-made automatic watch with world timer, slide rule and timing functionalities and a unique look for just as low as 109 Deutsche Mark. We all remember that, right? No? Okay, me neither. And I admit that I probably sounded like a cheap commercial. And there's a catch or two. Let's check out this peculiar piece right here, right now on the Time Worn channel. This watch was part of Neckermann's lineup of watches. Neckermann was a huge mail order company in Germany, which existed since 1950, and it offered, as mentioned among many other things, watches. Timex being one of the larger brands they had in store, but they also had their own range of timepieces that were produced exclusively for them under the TEMPIC brand. TEMPIC used to be advertised the following, roughly translated from German. TEMPIC. This brand provides you security when purchasing a watch. TEMPIC stands for reliability and sophisticated engineering, perfect down to the smallest detail. TEMPIC represents modern design of international validity, watches which fulfill the highest quality standards. TEMPIC presents you with a balanced collection of carefully curated watch models. Watch purchase is a matter of trust. Put your trust in brand quality, in TEMPIC. TEMPIC is only available through Neckermann in Germany. Among the good, this is something special. Whew, quite some praise. And even exceeds my own introductory words in terms of laying it on a bit thick, but expected from a mail order watch brand. For this particular model, it was described as the sporty one with a rally look for men that ask for more. Wow, I just love how it is initially named diver watch in the description, but shown on the arm of a pilot in the picture and then gets the additional label of sporty and rally via the slogan right here. Not gonna lie, it's impressive that they offered mechanical automatic watches when the Quartz crisis was already going on for 9 years. But I guess that was also the reason why they were quite cheap. This one was 109 Deutsche Mark. Considering inflation, this would be roughly 139 euros in 2022 for an automatic watch with 2 internal bezels and a day date function. Let's head into the details what exactly those 100 plus Deutsche Mark bought you, and I urge you to wait for the movement inside, which is 100% German as well. The tonneau-shaped case looks like it is made of stainless steel, but consists of chrome-plated brass. I guess that's catch number 1 possibly. Its brushed finish on top with polished sides is nearly untouched or perfect, I would say. The outer rotatable bezel features a slide rule to facilitate calculations for distance, speed, etc., which is quite cool, and it protrudes the case roughly with 1 mm at 47 mm in total diameter. But if you look closely, and the TEMPIC aficionados will have noticed this already, this watch is missing the actual slide rule scale on the outer bezel. It popped off, which I guess is catch number 2 considering the build quality. Although I've seen other offerings of this watch online with the outer bezel still on there, so maybe this is a user's fault. Looking at you, Grailkeeper. Lug to lug, it measures 50 mm. It is 14.5 mm in height and weighs 133 grams, together with the interesting bracelet. The case has 26 mm lug width, and the bracelet is simply manufactured or pressed. But its 5-link design with alternating width of links, all brushed and heavily tapering towards 17 mm at the folding clasp, was and still is an intriguing design. In contrast to the case material, the case back and bracelet are in stainless steel. The 3 crowns, 2 of them for internal bezel rotation, are all non-screw down and unsigned, and thus I think catch number 3 would be the title, Diver's Watch in the Katalog, which is followed by tested for a depth of 30 meters. A confusing statement for the typical mail order watch customer, I suppose, who might think that he can actually go diving with this one. Underneath the acrylic crystal, we find the two rotatable bezels. The inner one of those bezels with the stylish blue alternating pattern is a simple timer bezel with a 60-minute scale, and the outer black one features the world timer function. But that one is the simplest implementation of a world timer. The bezel does not move with time, but only allows you to align the city of your own time zone with your current position of the hour hand to read off the other cities. Still handy though, and indeed adds that professional look, as the advertisement claims. The dial is black, and the numerals immediately reminded me of a much more famous watch model, the Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris. Or am I the only one? The simple stick hands and hour indices carry lume, which, after all these years, can only be seen if activated forcefully with a UV lamp. Additionally, we have the day and date at the classical 3 o'clock position. Lots of functions at this price point, that's for sure. The stainless steel caseback is simple, with only a slight hint to the production year 1979 via the reference number on it. 1979 was also the last year that the German Pforzheimer Uhrenrohwerke GmbH produced mechanical movements before succumbing to the Quartz movement entirely. A historic but also sad year for a movement producing company that was established in 1932 by watchmaker Rudolf Wehner to produce movements independently of Swiss imports. The factory was destroyed in World War II and built up again afterwards. In 1990 they finally financially went under and became part of the SMH, which means the Swatch Group today. And one of the last automatic mechanical movement lines ticks inside this watch, the PUW 1663S, a surprisingly large heritage for a movement inside a mail order watch. It ticks with 21,600 amplitudes per hour, sits on 21 joules and has a power reserve of 40 hours. Well, you already know the price from back then, but today these can still be found as hand-wound 17 joule versions and, like this one, with a 21 joule automatic movement. The latter goes for around 400 euros if in good condition, which means that the outer bezel is still intact in contrast to this one right here. The manual wound ones can be found at much cheaper price point. But in total, it goes to show what a special kind of mechanical mail order watch can fetch 40 years later. This again is an odd piece, but a fascinating one in my opinion, which revealed more and more layers of history as I dug into it, especially considering that it was a simple mail order purchase back then. If you're interested in a more refined world timer option, which is I guess equally under the radar, check out my video right here. Or if you're interested in the godfather of all slide rule watches, check out this one. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one here on the Time Worn channel.